The following YouTube stream has been approved for restricted audiences only by the host out of respect for you. It will definitely contain strong graphic language and maybe some adult themes. Almost certainly.
Good evening, happy Friday, and welcome to Last Call, where we follow in the footsteps of the Founding Fathers of the United States, meeting to discuss and plan the revolution in a bar over drinks. I don't know how this week has been for all of you, but it's been pretty brutal for me and for the box office. Most films aren't doing well, and the one that is doing the best is a harbinger of very, very bad things on the cultural horizon. I'm talking about the neo-Marxist Barbie movie. Yeah, we're going to get into it in a powerful way. I've had my ranty streams before, but I usually don't get this far into the sociopolitical. Well, be warned, we're going there tonight. If that's not your thing, I understand, but if you stick around, then you may want to make yours a double and strap in. The beaching starts right after I thank someone for tonight's drink and sing an intro song. Hope to see you on the other side. This drink was actually bought for me several weeks ago by a good friend of Last Call, John Pontoriero. We've just had a bit of a queue, but nonetheless appreciated. I didn't see a specific drink recommendation, and I kind of feel like a Jameson's Irish whiskey tonight. And given the subject matter, I'm gonna need it. As for the song, it's not really connected to you or the drink, but it's a good lead into the topic. I hope you don't mind, John. But again, thank you for the drink. And if anyone else wants to buy me a drink and maybe request a song, the link is in the description and pinned to the top of the chat. Thank you, and salute. Actually, it's not pinned to the top of the chat just yet, but it will be after the song. That is, if you still think I deserve a drink. Anyway, let's get into that song, huh? Hiya, Barbie. Want to go for a ride?
I'd like to, Ken, but you ain't got no stick shift.
I'm a Ken doll, I'm no fun at all. You know I'll fail ya, got no genitalia. I got plastic hair and just a lump down there. Lack of manhood, can't do what a man should.
Too bad, Kenny, you ain't got any.
I'm a Ken doll, I'm no fun at all. You know I'll fail ya, got no genitalia. I got plastic hair and just a lump down there. Lack of manhood, can't do what a man should. I'm a guy and I'm shy, and I guess you know why. Cause Mattel, what the hell, I've been neutered.
That's why I have to try, just to do it myself. Just my luck, batteries not included.
I can't touch,
No way.
I can't play. I wonder if G.I. Joe is gay.
What good that to you?
I'm a Ken doll, I'm no fun at all. You know I'll fail ya, got no genitalia. I got plastic hair and just a lump down there. Lack of manhood, can't do what a man should.
Too bad, Kenny, you ain't got any.
Oh no.
Too bad, Kenny, you ain't got any.
Oh no.
Too bad, Kenny, you ain't got any.
Okay, you don't have to rub it in.
Like there's anything to rub.
Well, she's not wrong there. There you go. That one goes out to Eddie Volkman, local DJ from. That joke is from 20 years ago. I didn't write that, so I can't take credit for it. But you know, he's probably getting some spins on it right now. At least I hope he is. I will be crediting him, you know, in the description later on. But let's go ahead and say hi to the beautiful and talented Netter of Netters Network. How you doing, my dear? And what are you sipping on?
I am doing well. It's Friday night. My work week is over, and I'm sipping on water. Because
that's fine, because you're on bouncer duty tonight. I don't know. I know that our usuals are just darn good people, but you never know who might stop in and maybe get a little bit squirrely about the topic that we're going to be talking about tonight. We'll see. But
see, now you should have me do the girl parts on that song because I know it. Of course, I've never heard that version before. I know a different version, but
that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, I was just winging it, but which I think a lot of people in the entertainment industry are doing too. We'll talk about that a little bit more too. But let's get our resident subject matter expert. We're going to be talking about literature and culture and whatnot. And as somebody who works in the library arts, I think you qualify as a. Oh, I just realized I still have the. I'm probably getting all kinds of feedback right now. Give me a second. Let me. See, I'm the boomer right now. There we go. How you doing, Agent Boomer? What you sipping on?
I also have a water tonight. Maybe I should have a bitter tea instead, though.
No, I think you guys, my designated driver who might have to help me close out the stream, my bouncer who needs to, keep me on the straight and narrow because, it's gonna be one of those kinds of nights.
So you seem to have got a bee in your bonnet tonight. It sounds like.
I think every intelligent person, every right-thinking person, certainly every male. And every female who actually cares about a male in their life should have a bee in their bonnet. Absolutely. I mean, women, I don't know. Maybe, as women, you just hate all men. But if you have sons, husbands, brothers, fathers that you care about, this movie should really, really bother you. And we will get into that. Absolutely. But you know what? Let me start by saying hi to the chat because, honestly, we wouldn't have a show without them. We could just have a private chat, the three of us, otherwise. It looks like Matanui was first. He says, well, it's going to be weird. I don't think it's going to be weird, but it is going to be one of my rant streams. I don't do this very often, but I do it occasionally. And that reminds me, I should probably start the banner. I don't usually do any kind of disclaimer. Ongoing anyway. I do the one at the beginning of the stream, but I think this one should play for the people that come in late, in case they're wondering what the hell they just got themselves into. But anyway, welcome, Matanui. You're first. Thanks so much for being here. And of course, David Pensack. Release the Kraken and make it a triple. Looking forward to this. Thank you so much, David. I kind of realized when you said this, I haven't had Kraken in a while, have I? I really need to. I don't even know. I may be out of Kraken, so I may have to drop the link for you. Of course, it's down below if you want to buy me a drink, if you want to buy me a bottle of Kraken, but I'll get that pinned to the top of the chat in just a moment after I say hi to everybody. Big Al of Big Al Presents. Lock and load, fire away. Have a great stream, my friends. I told him he should get himself some popcorn, sit back and enjoy. Although he may be saving his popcorn for tomorrow night when he is doing a watch party of The War of the Gargantuas from 1966 with deleted scenes and Wolf 10 Media. That ought to be awesome, but I will be with Netter, hanging out with Evelyn Hampton, whom I'll be saying hi to in just a second. I'm still going through in order, but yeah, Big Al of Big Al Presents tomorrow night. Of course, let's see. Troy Pacelli, hello, love of my life. I love you too, Netter. Of course, you can say that to me directly. Hello.
hi, honey.
Hi,
I
honey.
loves you.
I loves you too. And I don't just mean you.
Love is the best medicine.
Love will keep us alive. Oh, yeah, I'll talk about that in a second too. Tim Hayes, hail last call. He's going to be out cutting the lawn. I used to make the joke. I said, I got a guy to do that for me. An old, overweight, bald Italian guy. But then we actually did start hiring a service to do our lawn for us. That's fine, man. You catch up on the rerun or whatever. We super appreciate. He shared out the stream, which I would hope that all of you all would do. Share out the stream on your social medias. Get your friends in here, unless you think they'd be offended by me dumping on Barbie. We'll see. Deleted Scenes. Get ready for a rant to end all rants. Well, I don't know if it'll be that exciting, but I've got some notes and I got some points that I'm gonna be covering for sure. Let's see who else. Lester, the Skeptic Tank. He can't wait. Good. I'm glad you're gonna enjoy. I hope you're gonna enjoy it. And of course, Sir Torrin Clegane. Good evening. Good to see you. I was thinking about this at work today. They really didn't have to make this movie this way. Barbie, by virtue of being herself, can be anything. Interesting that you say that, Sir Torrin. We will, of course, be getting into that. I will dissect why they've gone the route they did. You're thinking too intelligently. You've got to think more insidiously. She's always been the focus of her world. Sure, Ken is there, and he's not the center of the universe. She's always had that girl quality to her that was an actual feminist program. I had not even thought of Marlo Thomas and that girl, but that is a great point, and hopefully I will remember to come back to that. That is something worth talking about. And there she is, Evelyn Hampton, whom Netter and I will be with physically tomorrow night, celebrating the Feast of Kalesh, the great Klingon messianic figure. And really, it's just an excuse to get together and eat gach and just enjoy the company of other Klingons whom we haven't seen since, before COVID, I think. No. There was one little get-together outdoors that we did. The main bridge crew got together out of doors wearing masks and all that BS. But we'll see you. We'll see you tomorrow night, Evelyn. I will be bringing gach. I will be bringing a special batch for the Admiral. I will be bringing a special batch for the engineer who is allergic to onions, and it'll be a fun time. Absolutely. Gorilla Random Thoughts. Hey everyone. I hope I said hi to Deleted Scenes. Did I not? I hope I did. Hope I didn't miss anybody. Continuum Chronicles. That's the new name of your channel. I love it. CK, you are awesome. I am so glad you're here. It was great hanging out with you last month, and I'm looking forward to hanging out with you again in the fall. Netter and I will talk. We'll set a date when we'll be coming out to Ohio again in the fall. Let's see here. Oh, and Big Al, we'll work that out with you too as well. Just saying. And obviously, Aged Boomer, it's going to affect you too. Gosh, we're so tied in with so many channels. That's not a bad thing.
Affects everything.
You're saying that everything I do causes ripples. You're going to give me a swelled head. I'm
telling you.
Connie Cleary, thanks so much for being here. You are super encouraging. Pacific 414, hello all. Oh, Pacific 414. I think we got to get you back on the channel, Pacific 414. I haven't seen you in a while. We've been running in the same circles, but I think we need to get together and hang out again. I'm going to try going through these quick. If I miss anybody, please call me out. Let me know. And of course, Leia Rose, hello. So good to see you. And Dr. Adega Outlaw. Excellent writer. I'm holding this because I use my right hand. You can't see that I'm holding up a drink for each one of you because it's off to the left here. But, okay, I think we are caught up. I will do my best to say hi to anyone who stops in from here, but I am counting on my bouncer and my designated driver to help me keep an eye on the chat because I'm already starting to fuzz up, which is probably the best way to go into this. So,
all right.
So I want to start, and Netter, I need you to speak up because I got the mic right up here next to me. But Netter, you had a Barbie as a little girl, didn't you?
I still have her.
Still have her. And her arms are pinned on with safety pins.
Because my sisters took the arms off, ruined the arm sockets, and there's no way to keep it on.
So Michael French of Retro Blasting has Broken Vader. Netter's got Broken Barbie. Drinking game. Take a shot for every time Troy cusses.
Oh gosh, you guys will be bombed in 5 seconds.
Yeah, you might be dead tonight. But, Gorilla Random Thought, I'm glad you brought that up because I am going to try to start curbing the swears because I actually have, delusions of grandeur. I'm hoping that one day maybe I get monetized. And if I'm going to get monetized, I maybe need to cut out the curse words. And then I've got to somehow figure out what all the other naughty words are as far as YouTube is concerned.
So if you get monetized,
Mansfield's
you'll
in
be like,
Ohio.
Yeah, Mansfield, Ohio. Absolutely. Did did I mention Mansfield or?
Yeah, because you said we were gonna go see CK.
But,
Yeah, and CK's in the next town over from Mansfield.
Basically, you throw a rock, you'll miss it.
I mean, I hope I'm not doxing you, CK, when I talk about, a town that's next door to Mansfield. We're only talking about a couple thousand people, so that does kind of narrow down who you might be. If they look at, initials CK, messing with you, man.
What were you gonna say, Boomer?
I was gonna say if he gets monetized though, he'll be yelling at the chat saying, "Look, you guys should you should go see Barbie and just try to support the theaters and that we have movies back in theaters." And
I'm not going to turn into Grace Randolph, crazy eyes, insane bitch. That's not going to be happening.
Read a Degas comment.
When I was 21, my dad gave me a Barbie. He told me I needed a blonde fur. I like your dad already. Little did he know that I had just gotten engaged to my wife, blonde, that month. That's actually kind of pretty awesome, man. I gotta say, and I talk about this all the time. So this picture right here, that's an old picture of Netter when she had just done a hair show. She had this redhead thing going on. And even though her hair does have a kind of copper sheen, she's a blonde, natural blonde, okay? Just saying. So when I say I have a type, when I talk about Cheryl Lee, when I talk about Virginia Madsen and stuff like that. Yeah, there you go. There's the Netter that I married. That's not us getting married, by the way. That was
5 years later at her friend's wedding.
Yep. Skipper Kenner's wedding, just to be specific, but for those of you that know the chat and know people that stop by, but yeah, so I definitely have a type. So the Barbie would be my type. So
wait, here's a better one. Should be more blonde.
But I do have to admit, going into this whole Barbie thing, when I saw, let's face it, Margot Robbie. There you go. I was always a big Supergirl fan. I collected all the Daring New Adventures of Supergirl, every single one. I was a big Supergirl fan. So when I married someone who decided she was going to get into cosplay, let me tell you, marriage is good. 30 years has been good to me, let me tell you. But anyway, yeah, Margot Robbie, right in my wheelhouse. So when I saw these promos for this movie, look, I don't pretend to have some kind of a weirdo foot fetish, but I'll admit, I was kind of digging that scene. I kind of understood why some people were kind of drooling a little bit about it, but the stands have gone a little bit too far. But I've gone off on a tangent. Netter, tell us about the Barbie that you had as a kid. It was a hand-me-down in your case, wasn't it?
Yeah, it started with my oldest sister, who's 8 years older than me. Went down to the sister below her, who's 5 years older than me. Went to the sister below her, that's 4 years older than me, before I finally got it.
So, let me see if I got this right. It was Jeanette, Michelle, Jackie, and then you.
No.
I missed it.
I'm the baby. Michelle's above me, Jeanette's above her, Jackie's the oldest.
Okay.
And then my brother was 10 years old.
Sorry, I reversed Jackie and Michelle. Sorry about that. Sorry to them, too. They're still not on speaking terms, if I understand correctly. But anyway. Yeah, so Andre never had a Barbie doll, huh?
No.
Did he have G.I. Joes, do you know?
Okay, I figure if I'm going to be blonde, I'm going to be blonde.
Oh, there you go.
One of my favorite pictures of the two of us.
I think this was the last time that we were with
Gabe.
With Gabe when he was alive, yeah. It was a birthday celebration.
Yeah, this was our buddy Gabe's birthday celebration, and he passed not that much longer.
About a year later, yeah.
Yes, it was a really weird circumstance. Like carbon monoxide got into his house, and him and his mom got really sick, were in the hospital, and died within like hours of each other.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a guy from MeWe reach out to me because he had been a big part of the MeWe community and asked me, what had happened and stuff. And for whatever reason, Netter and I couldn't make it out to MeWe, so I kind of outlined, what had happened and whatnot, so they could do a little in remembrance of him at the convention, which I thought was really, really cool. But yeah, that is a great, great picture of Netter.
And of course I'm blonde.
And that's when I was still coloring my beard. Yes, at one time I did color my beard. Because when you're going on interviews, you maybe want to, look as young as possible. Even though it's illegal to discriminate against the aged, you're a fool to think it doesn't happen. But yeah, so there you go. So Netter, did you have a lot of accessories for that Barbie? I've seen the Barbie. I haven't seen a whole lot of accessories that you made.
I have the Barbie. I have the original Barbie case that came with her, that teal one. I've got some of her clothes. I think I got some furniture that may or may not actually go with her.
Yeah, it was very interesting. I remember growing. Obviously, I didn't play with Barbies, but in fact, I didn't even have 12-inch G.I. Joe figures. That was a buddy of mine had a whole Foot Locker of G.I. Joe stuff, and I'd go over and play with him and his G.I. Joes. He also had Action Man and some other things, but I couldn't get myself to get into it because just when I was getting into buying toys, I had one G.I. Joe, and then from there we went right into the 9-inch scale Migos. But I do remember that I did think that the accessories she had were really cool from a 12-inch action figure point of view. So your sisters didn't have like the dream house or the Corvette or any of that kind of stuff? Netter.
So what was that question?
Your sisters didn't have any of like the dream house
No, we just had the Barbie and the Barbie case. If they had anything else, I don't remember it at all. I just remember the Barbie being in the Barbie case.
So you folks do have to understand, with Netter, it was her brother Andre, it was her sisters Jeanette, Michelle, Jackie, and herself, right? So that was a big family. So the finances were a little bit tight. Didn't realize it at the time, but I'm a little bit spoiled because I was the oldest of two.
You're still spoiled.
That's true. I am. But I was the oldest of two, and until my brother came along for at least 6 years, I was an only child. So I had that going for me. Real quick, want to say hi to somebody who I adore, but have not seen in a very, very long time. Leia plus size. Hello, Nettie. My first Barbie was a Superstar Barbie. And Christy, the Corvette, and the fashions that went with. It's probably a good thing that I didn't get too into the 12-inch figures. Otherwise, I probably would have bought a lot of the Barbie accessories, the car, whatever, and probably repainted them so that they'd be a little bit more realistic and a little less pink. Because they would have gone really well with my $6 Million Man, my G.I. Joe, my, whatever.
But here's the thing. My Barbie is from, like, the 50s.
Yeah, you have a very, very
old
old Barbie. That's absolutely true. So
and we never chopped her hair off either.
Well, which is good. Unless you had the Barbie that, had the growing hair. They had one Barbie that did that. Of course, there was also the Barbie who you'd crank her arm and her bust would grow. Yes.
Yeah,
Little bit of trivia. That was a thing. Yes. Absolutely. Then there was also the Midge figure who was pregnant. That comes up in this movie, and we'll be talking a little bit about that in a bit. But I ended up getting all of my uncle's old toys, except his Star Wars and Masters of the Universe toys. He kept those as far from my tiny fingers as possible. Yeah, I understand that. I watch, for example, I watch Bosk's Bounty, and Bosk and Little Boss, they kind of share the toys, and it's very interesting how sometimes, I opened it and I gave it to Little Bosk, so I can't get it back again, so I want to get another one. Like, oh man, it's awesome when you can share something like that with your kids. And that is probably where I want to start pivoting into the topic. Let me first see what Leia Plus Size is saying to me. I know, no time, no see. Been renovating. Oh, that's good. Have you done some videos about it? You should. And it's taken a lot of time. Renovations are good. We used to call that nesting. Make sure that your living environment is comfortable. You enjoy it. That's always good. This helps make things comfortable. Just saying. But just saying. What about you, Aged Boomer? What has been your experience in life with Barbie? I don't even know. Believe it or not, I don't even know if you have any sisters.
I do have a sister. She was not as into... I don't know if she had any Barbies growing up.
Was she older or younger?
Older. She must have had something when she was little, but I don't think she held on to them. Years back, when they would do special Barbie editions. Like I think they did a Star Trek Barbie once, didn't they? I believe.
Oh yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I did get her for her birthday one time the Ken and Barbie as Mulder and Scully from the X-Files.
There you go. Yeah.
So those are worth a pretty penny at this point, but yeah, I did get her those.
We've got a couple of the only Barbies that I ever got.
And that Barbie had red hair.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, because wow.
Scully, yeah.
Yeah, Scully. Wow, redhead Scully.
Yeah.
And then the actress came out as bisexual, and I was like, good. Let's see more of that. Yeah, good for that.
No, anyway. What else though?
Okay. I'm just drunk enough to share this. I saw somebody share this on Twitter. They were just shit posting about Barbie, and they were saying, this Barbie movie is worthless if there aren't two Barbies scissoring. And I'm like, oh jeez. And then I thought about it. I'm like, yeah, yeah, I know. But down with the pay. Oh. Here's something before we even get into our topic. If you do decide to see this piece of shit movie, play a drinking game. As you're watching the movie, every time they say patriarchy, take a drink. Stop when you have to, or you will be dead. Just saying.
So. All right, so you have a bee in your bonnet about this movie. I've seen clips of it. What's the first thing that pops to mind, I guess?
Neo-Marxism. That's the first thing that pops to mind. Oh, well, no, wait a minute. Maybe I misunderstood your question. Do you mean based on the trailers?
What was the first thing you heard about it that got you upset? What's the first thing?
Oh, yeah. The first thing I heard was all the spoiler reviews that were talking about what it was really about and how it was clearly propaganda and that it was basically neo-Marxism. Right up until the release date, what did we see? We saw the promos. The promos looked great. The promos looked like, wow, something you could even take your little girls to see, despite the fact that it was PG-13. That should have been your first warning bell, folks. There's a reason PG-13 exists. But then after that, you had the bullshit that some of the broads were saying. Excuse me, I'm going to use some derogatory language for women. I don't mean all women. I mean these women specifically. They deserve these names, right? They were talking about how this is going to be the nail in the coffin of the patriarchy. It's going to
change the world,
throw off heteronormative gender stereotypes, and And I was like, we've heard this before, and then we go see the movie, and it turns out to be pretty okay. This is just the people involved,
right,
pushing their
like
agendas.
One little joke there or something like that, right?
Yeah, in this case, you should have listened to him. That was exactly what this bullshit was about. That's exactly what this was. Anyway, you guys ripping on me here? Take a shot. Third shot. What the hell did I say that you're taking a shot? I don't know which game you're playing.
Anytime you swear.
Anytime I swear, oh yeah. Don't play the drinking game this stream. If you do that, you'll die. You will die. It's not a good idea.
Well, that's only if they're drinking alcohol.
Well, yeah. If you're drinking anything else, you're gonna have to pee in the middle of the stream. So don't. No. I did not see the Barbie movie. I saw the red flags. Oh, you saw the red flags in the trailer, and was not a fan of the choice of director. See, I knew nothing about the director, so good on you, Leia Plus Size. And I'm sorry, Netter, what were you gonna say?
Well, I was like, you're going to pee in the stream? Was that supposed to be a pun?
Don't cross the streams. Unless you are really close with the person you're crossing streams with. Just saying.
Well, even then, you...
Well, it could get messy. But some people are into that, and I don't judge. We are making fun of you, Troy. Of course you are. I am an easy target, especially tonight. You are just super fun. When you are drunk, then, by all means, buy me a drink. In fact, you know what I should do is I should drop the link into the... I don't know if I'm in any freaking condition to drop the link into the chat. Buy me a drink if you enjoy me drinking. I better just get the actual link. Open link in new tab. See, I don't know why, but YouTube does this. It truncates the link for some reason in the description, which is just annoying, especially when you're drunk. There we go. There's the link if you want to buy me a drink and make sure that each stream is as fun as it can be. I've just pinned it to the top. I may actually be out of Kraken. So if you want to buy me a bottle of Kraken. And you know what? Somebody made an excellent point. I've never said, what a drink costs. It's whatever you want to donate, of course. I will put that to the drink fund. But, you know what alcohol costs. You know what drinks cost. A bottle of Kraken. This Jameson, which, by the way, this was long before I even started doing the whole sponsorship thing and the songs and whatnot. But this bottle of Jameson was bought for me by the beautiful and respectable Klingon that Netter and I are going to be hanging out with tomorrow night, Evelyn Hampton. That costs like $35, and that's the smaller bottle. you know. Booze is expensive. So, and you know what? Because I'm drunk and because it's my stream and I'm going to go off on a little tangent. I have actually been making monetary investments in this channel. I have subscribed to a couple of different services. That sweet female voice that sang with me tonight was AI generated. And the pictures and voices you hear in those D&D videos that I've been releasing, also AI generated, but those require subscriptions. So if you want to support me in that way, you don't actually have to buy me a drink per se, but you know, I say it's for the drink fund, but it goes to the drinks, it goes to whatever costs are incurred by the stream, because I don't have any faith I'm ever going to be monetized. And Retroblasting, whom we have not, have we invoked him yet tonight? We haven't, but we will be soon. Anyone else find it weird, though, that all these guys for months and months on YouTube were fixated on the Barbie movie long before release? Dude, when we were 8, we weren't concerned with Barbie.
Yeah.
That's because Barbie wasn't played by Margot Robbie. Okay?
I want to say something about Margot.
You've seen Wolf of Wall Street, right? Just saying. I got a type. She's sitting right across from me, okay?
I've seen Wolf of Wall Street. I did love that movie. I've seen the Tarzan movie she was in was pretty good. At least
she was in a Tarzan movie?
Yes.
Like live action?
Yes. You didn't hear
I'll have to look into that.
That was the Skarsgård guy from True Blood. He was Tarzan in it. Samuel Jackson was in it.
Oh, I like that Skarsgård guy. Yeah.
Well, anyway, they did a Tarzan movie for once where he was actually Lord Greystoke starting out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they didn't just do his origin where he's in the jungle. No, he was in England, married to Jane, and.
So this was the later.
This is like.
They assume you already know the original story. This is like the sequel to whatever you see.
He has to go back to Africa to stop Apparently, Belgium was up to doing a slave trade type of thing, so he goes there to stop that, and I think he leads a charge with animals. It wasn't bad, and I know that the critics were attacking it. And I often wonder, because it was sort of I don't want to say it was independently made, but it was not like a studio bought it for release. They didn't make it themselves, so I don't know. I noticed the audience at the time liked it, but that the studios were kind of dumping it. But yeah, I don't know. But I'm trying to think. Margot Robbie, though, has had a weird little career here. She was Harley Quinn, but did anybody really like the movie she was in as Harley Quinn? I mean...
Well, and this goes to a lot of... We have to kind of say this almost about everything, right? Just because the writing sucks doesn't mean the actors suck, right? I mean, I like... Margot Robbie is... Let's face it, she's fucking beautiful, but... I try very hard not to pay attention to these people's politics. I don't want to know. I don't care. I probably would lose all respect for her if I knew. But they take roles because, let's be honest, they need to work, right? And the writers are dumb fucks. They really, really are. Really quick, I want to say hi to Keely Chow. Super appreciate when you're here, Keely Chow. Thank you so much for being here. My sister had their share of sisters had their share of Barbie. See, I'm sorry. I sometimes using the they them, I forget that some people understand that's meant to be plural, right? So their share of Barbie dolls, but didn't care themselves for their stash. If they learned regifting. Oh yeah. So toys are very different in our circle, in our community. We value our toys. I bemoan the toys that got broken, or what's the old G.I. Joe saying? Old soldiers never die. Your mother gave them away. Yeah. My brother broke some of them. He was severely autistic, so it was a question of you had to keep things away from him. You couldn't really share with him unless you were prepared to let him chew on it and destroy it. You know, it was just going to happen. I had a metric ton of the Marvel Secret Wars figures. Those were the figures that were the analog to the Superpowers collection. And actually, I think I gave those. So both the Superpowers collection and the Marvel figures I gave to the son of a friend of mine. Why? He had the Fantastic Four Secret Wars figures, and his sister broke the Reed Richards figure. And it was very difficult to replace. So Netter went on eBay and found it. And I gifted him all of my Superpowers collection and all of my Marvel Secret Wars figures. I also gave him, because so this was the story, he wanted to see the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie. His father wouldn't let him. He said, "You're not old enough." He had 2 points to make about that movie. And I totally agreed with why he wasn't letting his 10-year-old son see that movie until he was old enough. Right. But I told him, I said, "Look, I understand your desire to see Spider-Man. You're going to have to wait until your dad decides you're old enough. In the meantime, here's my Spider-Man comic book collection." And it was about 10 years worth of Amazing Spider-Man, Spectacular Spider-Man, Web of Spider-Man, and assorted crossover issues. I hope he enjoyed them. I hope he still has them. And I hope he's gotten them graded, because they were in perfect condition when I gave them to him. Why did I do this? Because I don't have children of my own to pass them on to.
Right.
Guys, I'm sorry I haven't been following the chat real closely. Someone needs to tell Margot Robbie that the part of Diaz has already been taken. What has she done lately?
She kind of fell off. The last thing I saw her in was she was in a movie with Tom Cruise a few years back. I remember her from The Mask. Remember The Mask?
Mm-hmm.
She was amazing in that.
What was the movie that she was in with
Ben Stiller?
Ben Stiller, yeah, you knew exactly.
Something About Mary. Yes, I figured that usually comes to mind.
That was a disgusting film.
David Pensek bought us a drink.
Oh, David Pensek, thank you so much. Now, just, you guys are just getting me off. It's so easy to get me off my topic when I've been drinking.
You've got 2 drinks coming up. Next week is going to be wine for our anniversary.
No. Oh, I forgot. We have, I'm going to have to be drinking on the Thursday stream then for our anniversary, because next week, Friday, is a dry stream, folks. So if you've bought me a drink, it won't be next week that you'll be sponsoring me for. It's going to be a different stream, and we'll talk about that at the end. So hang out with me.
Of 2. So next week we have wine, which we can do on my Thursday stream.
Yep.
And then the next Friday, David Pensek, want you Kraken.
David, you want me to have the Kraken. Absolutely. So I will absolutely be releasing the Kraken that night. That gives me the opportunity to share my little meme. That's great. That's great. By the way, Troy, if you see this, my last comment you read had a typo. I tried to type that we are not making fun of you. You should. You absolutely should. Have fun. Have fun at my expense. That's what this stream is about. It's perfectly okay. But if you're not, that's okay too, as long as you are having fun here tonight. But yeah, I think it's time for me to start pivoting into the topic at hand, which is this ridiculous freaking neo-Marxist Barbie movie. What do you know about this this director, Agent Boomer?
Greta Gerwig. I don't know what she's directed. I kept thinking, I've seen her in something before. She was in The House of the Devil.
So she's been an actress?
That's the only movie I ever saw her in. She was the friend of the main character. She ends up getting her face blown off in the movie.
Good!
No, anyway, it's funny that...
Not saying that anyone in real life this should happen to, but the fantasy of it and seeing it in the movie is a certain amount of schadenfreude.
It's weird, though, because Ty West also went on to do The Innkeepers, and Lena Dunham had a brief cameo in that. This was before Girls.
Oh, for fuck's sake. You're just bringing up the whole list of fourth ways fucking feminist
bitches. It's weird that they both were in his movies, I guess, before they got big, and it's just odd to me. And I guess she's done other things. I hadn't heard of Greta Gerwig before. I didn't take issue. I thought this was going to be a fun comedy, a la like the Brady Bunch movie or something.
And that very much was exactly, look, marketing for movies has sucked for about 5 to 10 years. The marketing for this, the marketing people were fucking geniuses. That is the only thing positive I can say about this movie. They did their jobs.
They looked good. I'll say this. I mean, the whole...
It almost looked like something I might have enjoyed.
Yes.
Let me just say that. But let me, real quick, I want to read for you. I am not, although I am a drinking man, okay, I am not a gambling man. However, there is a site that I follow that follows gambling trends and gives odds and stuff like that. I just enjoy it. Okay? Just like I can watch gaming streams and not actually play the games. Same thing here. I follow these gambling streams and don't actually gamble. But let me read to you their article, their prediction about Barbie, because people will literally bet on anything. This is from July 23rd. So this is what, last week? Mm-hmm. Last week.
Yes.
Barbie box office analysis. Currently, Polymarket offers a better than 33-1 return on whether the final actual Barbie box office, not the estimates, show first weekend of release topping 150 million domestically. I think betting against 150 million plus box office at those odds would be smart bet, and here's why. Barbie box office was 70 million for Friday, but was actually 48 million from Friday ticket sales, as the Friday total includes Wednesday and Thursday ticket sales due to a large number of pre-booked previews. Barbie's marketing campaign got a lot of pre-booked tickets for Friday as well. The box office estimators assume Barbie will have no Friday to Saturday drop-off and total 48 million against, and then they expect only a small Sunday drop-off to 37 million on Sunday for a domestic weekend projection of 155 million. Here's why I think that is less than the 97% chance the market gives it. First, since Barbie isn't really a kids' film, a bigger Sunday drop-off should be expected, closer to the 30% norm for such films. Second, the Saturday and Sunday box offices will be impacted more by word of mouth than the marketing domestic. You probably are already seeing the problem with this, right? Word of mouth be felt until weekend 2. If Barbie drops off 20% on Saturday, then Saturday's total comes under 40 million. Okay, we're getting into a lot of numbers. So, bottom line, hence, getting 33-1 odds is worth the investment if you are able to and so inclined. I would take the bet up to 50% odds. So this is betting based on, as of July 23rd, what they thought was going to happen. Now we know that was wrong. That was a bad bet. That would have been a bad bet if you'd gotten in on this. because as of so this is afternoon today. Let me see. Let me open this up. So I'm doing kind of a geeky geezers kind of thing. I'm going to read an article to you. This is from Revolver. This is from this afternoon. This is the most recent that I have. The Pink Menace. I like that title. The hapless
Menace. Okay, never mind.
By Peachy Keenan. Peachy Keenan, that's a great name. The hapless fools who run current year Hollywood have done something truly stupid. Dumber than that lesbian kiss in Lightyear. Dumber than putting Jennifer Lawrence in a raunchy teenage sex movie. Gotta admit, I'm kind of interested to check that out. Not as dumb as every single thing Kathleen Kennedy's does, but still pretty dumb. I like you, Peachy. They made a Barbie movie for adults. A trad mom, and for those of you that don't know, trad mom means a traditional mom, a woman that is conservative, who maybe doesn't work outside the home, who, leads a traditional life, who is the anathema of modern fourth wave feminists. Tradwife friend asked me today if she could take her girls to see the upcoming Barbie movie. She's not on Twitter, and I had to be the bearer of bad news. And it wasn't that Barbie has a preposterous PG-13 rating, or includes the unfunny "I'll beat you off" argument between the Kens. Beat you off? Get it?
Right,
yes. I'll beat you off.
It was in the trailer, I think.
Yeah. If you were planning to take your little girls to see Barbie, you might be in for a rude surprise. Today, Time Magazine revealed their new cover featuring the cast of the upcoming movie, and I was today years old when I found out that Warner Brothers did the unthinkable. They cast a man as a Barbie. What we should have known. For months now, a pink storm has been gathering around the first ever live-action Barbie movie. Leaked movie clips, photos of the set, and feverish anticipation from a surprising source, the young men of the right. Barbie memes have flooded the timeline. This is the aesthetic that will save us. The pendulum is swinging back hard. Words of hope fill hearts with joy in this dark and ugly age. And how could they not? The confectionery perfection of the tanned, blonde Aussie bombshell is in a pink miniskirt and a 1956 pink convertible Corvette is natural catnip for a certain online demo of men stubbornly drawn to, trigger warning, traditional female beauty ideals. Gasp. Not those. None can resist Margot Robbie in a micro mini and pumps. True. I got netter. Legs. That's all I'm going to say. Can you blame them? Or her? As Yeats said, what could she have done being what she is? Was there another Troy for her to burn? I didn't read this article all the way through before I started reading it. Troy, Trojan.
Yeah, I get
not me.
Okay.
Yes. You see, the new Barbie movie is all its retro, vintage, neo-aesthetic was going to be based. It was a return. It was not over. It was, I'm sorry, this is a bunch of modern millennial language I don't understand. Sorry. After all, it started the rarest of sights in commentary movies, an attractive heterosexual white couple. Meme favorite Ryan Gosling is white, blonde-haired, and was playing Ken. And Ken was not gay. Okay. You know what? This gets into it. It gets into... You know what I should do is I should probably do what we usually do on the Geeky Geezers. Let me just share the link with you so that you can check out the article that I'm reading. But, yeah. It kind of establishes the where we are and where we're going, right? This is what we got from the trailers. We should have raised an eyebrow at the PG-13 rating, and then sure enough, it turns out to... Wait a minute. Sorry, I'm way behind on the chat here. You guys are important, probably more important than anything I'm saying, so let me check this out. She also made Lady Bird based on what an old friend told me. It's a fairly accurate portrayal of what it's like to go to a Catholic school, and I trust her judgment. Well, if you want to know what it's like to go to a Catholic school, talk to me. I'll help you out with that one for sure. Yeah, I had the biker nuns. You know, Sister Mary Butch. She had a tattoo, Born to Raise Lazarus. You know, the ruler.
Whoa.
Yeah. I still have Catholic flashbacks. Lena Dunham, in a manic magnadoodle with a broken eraser wiper, was a human. Oh, if a manic magnadoodle was a broken eraser wiper for... Yeah, you know, Lena Dunham... I don't even want to get into it, but yes, good point, Michael. Many say the positive of the Barbie movie was the marketing and having Margot dressed up in the classic Barbie fashions on the red carpet. I mean, it's true. It really was. They schnookered us. They really, really did. I Googled Greta Gerwig to see her IMDb credentials, and Google turns the screen purple and showers you in hot pink stars fireworks. So Google is way into this shit. Yeah, well, that's Google for you.
Yeah.
And Amanda Newey's off to bed. Boy, you're missing the drunken rant. But you can always come back and check me out later on the rewatch. But I certainly understand, Amanda Newey. Take care and thank you for stopping by. Hope you hit the thumb on the way out. But, yeah. So, this is going to be my first point. PG-13 exists for a reason. We have talked on previous streams, you and I, Aged Boomer, talking about Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. And... what was it, Gremlins? And there was a number of films in that year that were PG rated. People forget that the original Jaws was PG.
Wasn't there a severed foot, like going through the water in that movie?
Yeah. There was a lot of blood, a lot of violence, and yeah, PG was, you know. I believe the original Airplane was PG. First time I saw naked female boobs in a movie was that movie. My voice dropped an octave. But yeah, and my mother was shocked to find out that I understood what a blowjob was from the scene where the main female lead was trying to blow up the inflatable auxiliary control pilot. And as she said, you know, if the kids understand it and it doesn't go over their heads, they haven't been spoiled, and if it does go over their heads, no harm, no foul. I was actually talking to a coworker about the PG rating, because he was hesitant to watch Outlaw Josie Wales because of that. I had to explain the old rating system. Yeah, Pre-PG-13 and current PG-13 are very, very different things.
G was the rating system for kids. It wasn't PG.
General audience. Parental guidance suggested tells you there's something there. So I can understand your coworker, PG? What's in it that I don't want my kids to see? The rules are pretty weird. Sometimes it's just as simple as someone pulling out a cigarette. That changes the ratings. The MPAA wanted to rate Jaws R, but Spielberg and company argued children couldn't emulate the violence of a shark. The MPAA relented. I did not know that, Michael. I am so glad you shared that with me. That's actually kind of humorous.
You know what else reminds me of? I think that...
And there was nothing in between, because honestly, you look at Jaws, and today, PG-13 probably would have been a good one for it.
Did you ever hear the story with Mel Brooks and Blazing Saddles about how the ratings board wanted him to cut stuff out of Blazing Saddles? So he said, okay, took the movie back, didn't do any cuts, brought it back to them, and then they approved it because they saying he cut it, but he didn't. Did you know that was the thing that happened? Okay.
I didn't know that, but I heard a similar story about Team America World Police, where they did all kinds of just absolutely ridiculous. They knew it would get them at least an R, maybe an X rating, so that they could then back off of it to get the PG-13 that they wanted. And then they just threw all that stuff onto the DVD, the unrated DVD. So, and I saw some of those scenes, and I was like, oh my God, they wanted to put this out in the movies? No, they didn't. They didn't. They did that as a stunt, and they didn't know what else to do with it, so they threw it on the DVD. I think that's friggin' brilliant, to be honest with you.
The movie where, like, was it Hans Blitz from the UN goes to talk to Kim Jong-il about what are you going to do if I don't do anything? We're going to write you a very stern letter, just making fun of the UN. Remember that? That was, I don't know.
Yeah. So here's what I want to say about Barbie. Holy crap, we're already an hour into this. So let me start pivoting into, we've talked about the marketing, we've talked about what it was billed as. Let's talk about what it really is. What it is a fucking fourth wave feminist piece of shit. It is for the fourth wave feminists what Birth of the Nation was for racists. That's what it was. And if you go to see Barbie and you go, well, this was kind of funny, I don't know what everyone's so upset about, then you're the same as the people that went to see Birth of the Nation and said, why do people say this is racist? I don't understand. And unfortunately, there's way too fucking many clueless dumb fucks saying that kind of stuff. Just saying.
Don't you think your average...
Oh, you need to stop, Gorilla Random Thoughts. You'll be dead at this point, because I intend to fuck the fucks all fucking up. Let me tell you.
Okay, but you said you were interested in my library know-how. What I do know is that Barbie's very popular among the kids. They check out lots of...
Why? Why are parents taking children under 13 to see a film that is rated PG-13?
Let me speak. I'm not talking about the movie. I'm talking about Barbie books.
Sorry. Okay.
Now, I don't know if parents are taking their kids to see this movie, but I'm saying the children's DVDs go out a lot. There are all sorts of things that Barbie does. There's like Barbie Fairy DVDs. There's Barbie this DVDs. I'm not an expert on the subject.
Sure.
See them go out.
And there's like some CGI animated DVDs.
They do a lot of the CGI animated ones, I guess. I guess Toy Story they were inspired by her appearance in the Toy Story movies. They decided to do their own CGI animated ones. But yeah, so she's still very popular. But this is not a children's movie, correct?
It is not. And people that are taking their children to them are either flabbergasted or clueless or fucking fourth wave feminists that are trying to indoctrinate their children into the fourth wave feminist mentality. Which kind of begs the question, if you're a fourth wave feminist, why are you, having sex with men and having children? Honestly, I don't understand it. It makes absolutely zero sense.
So, box office, was this a box office success? Wasn't this? Is it going to fall off in the second weekend, too? That's another question.
So, this is today's midday update. Barbie is going to need a bigger dream house, as the Greta Gerwig directed comedy is now looking at a second weekend of $90 million at 4,337 theaters. It's down 44% and is running a total of $348.3 million. It's not surprising to see a higher figure given how the Mattel doll has pulled in Mattel-like grosses of $20 million plus daily during the weekdays. Friday is looking like $28 million, down 60% from a week ago. That second weekend for Barbie isn't that far from the $90.4 million weekend to of Beauty and the Beast. Let me drop my reference here. There we go. That is from Deadline. So this goes to and that particular article is talking about the Barbenheimer, marketing strategy, which Michael French just did a video about today. Check out his Man-Child News. It's always funny, although I kind of felt like today's was a little depressing. He did put the positive humorous spin on it. But his quote regarding the Barbenheimer marketing was, this was classic. He said, "It just proves that the adult film industry, what the adult film industry has always known. If you want to stay in the green, go all the way into the pink. And make sure you have an explosive money shot."
Whoever... Oh, wow.
No. I think that was absolutely brilliant. I agree. Look, I haven't seen Oppenheimer yet, but I understand that Oppenheimer delivers his line about I am become death, or whatever that famous quote is.
Destroyer of worlds or something. That got it banned in India. Did you know?
I am death, destroyer of worlds. He delivers that line while he's having sex. I don't think that's historically accurate, Nolan, but I'll have to look into it. Yeah. But here's the other thing that I find very bothersome. Barbie's ancillary merch, not the dolls, not the toys, but, the T-shirts, the lunch boxes, all that kind of stuff. This past week has quintupled 5 times in revenue because of this movie. Just saying.
So, I hate to say this movie must be popular.
It is incredibly popular. And here's something that I put together, a little bit drawn from some other sources. Full disclosure, I have not seen this movie, and I do not intend to. I will not watch this movie.
Yeah, I have not seen it.
I will not even expend the bandwidth to pirate this fucking piece of shit. The real lesson of Barbie is that woke is not... will not make you go broke, despite what we've all been saying.
Right.
What it reveals is that the real reason that certain brands take a big hit for wokeness is because they have a deep pre-existing identity that is anti-woke. So it isn't the wokeness that's caused the problem for, say, Star Wars, Star Trek, Bud Light, etc. Rather, it's the attack on the pre-existing identity. Bud Light was a very macho, frat boy, old school Americana brand. So it was going away from that and attacking that. That was the problem, not necessarily the wokeness itself. Let's be honest. We've been saying as much regarding Star Wars, Star Trek, and such. It's been very much clear that they want to undo canon, destroy legacies, and drive away existing fans.
And have musical episodes.
Good point. We've said it. It's obvious. And here it is. Disney has done the same by attacking the family values that define that brand since its inception. A smart takeaway will be, though a disturbing take, that wokeness can be no problem at all. It can, in fact, boost the box office to record levels because the millennial and Zoomer generation is completely comfortable with some of the most extreme woke ideas out there represented in the Barbie film. While there was plenty of bad word of mouth from conservatives suggesting that if Barbie had just been fun and lighthearted and stayed away from politics, it might have done better. But it doesn't change the fact that the independents and so-called normies didn't give a bad word of mouth much at all. Which means they sat through one of the most prejudiced and bigoted films ever produced and didn't see any issue.
And go ahead.
No. Go ahead, interject.
No, I mean, and who's the aim of the bigotry? We'll get to that.
We'll get to that. Thank you. In other words, they were like the audience that watched Birth of a Nation and didn't think, this seems kind of racist. And the result was that Birth of a Nation gave rise to the KKK and the closest thing the U.S. ever had to the rise of fascism. So far. So Barbie is a reminder that the cultural battle against wokeism is far from over. Especially for an entire generation. We should be concerned. So when I say Birth of a Nation racism, obviously this isn't a racist film. This is a sexist film. What? This is an anti-male fourth wave feminist film. This film is predicated on the idea. Let's first back up and talk about what Barbie was meant to be. Barbie was always meant to be feminist, second wave feminist. Right. The idea that women deserve equal rights for equal pay for equal work, right? They should not be treated differently because they're women. You do the same job as a man, you deserve the same pay. This is true whether you're a woman, a man, black or white, or some other color, whatever religion you are, who you choose to sleep with, and what you do in your private life. Okay, all of these things are meaningless. You do the same work as somebody, you deserve the same pay. Right? You deserve to be treated equally. You deserve, just like men, you deserve the right to vote. You deserve the right to drive, to whatever rights men have, women deserve too. And this is true of women. This is true based on race. This is based on just everything, okay? If you are a human citizen of this country, you should be equal under the law. Second wave feminism. Nobody, except the biggest fucking assholes, disagree with that. Right? Fourth wave feminism, very different. Fourth wave feminism, and from what I've heard, I have not seen this movie, but from what I've heard, this film actually says in words that as long as men are safe, women are unsafe.
Wow.
That's the fourth wave feminism concept. And so there's this idea that we have to overthrow the patriarchy. Oh, for those of you playing the drinking game, every time Troy swears, take a drink. Try watching the fucking Barbie movie and take a drink every time you hear the word patriarchy. You'll be way worse off. I guarantee.
I thought for sure you were going to say, for those of you playing the drinking game, fuckity fuck fuck fuck.
Wow, never.
Oh yeah, no, don't be mistaken. Netter swears.
All right.
Netter swears. She absolutely does. She swears as much as I do, but
But not usually a polite company.
At the appropriate time, not in polite company, and she never takes the Lord's name in vain. If I ever do, you better not correct me, because there's something really wrong. And it does happen from time to time. I'm sorry, I'm going to back up a little bit, because I think there's some chat going on here that's totally worth commenting on. The Barbie movie is not Barbie. When I see the movie, I don't see Barbie. I see someone using her fourth wave feminism. Yeah, absolutely true. I thought the pic of Gerwig and Roby in front of the Oppenheimer poster at the theater was in bad taste. I get what you're saying, but at the same time, it's smart marketing. It's worked out for them, and I understand it. I that's the one thing I don't hold against them, to be honest with you. Oh my God, Man-Child News is always great. David Pensack, thank you so much. I'm glad that someone besides myself and Tim Hayes are frequenting that. Man-Child News is freaking awesome. This is why I keep telling you guys, subscribe to Retro Blasting. Michael French is he's kind of a genius. He's kind of a genius. He really is.
Did you say hi to the Joker voice?
I'm getting there. He's 2 comments away. Hi, Joker voice in advance. I'll get to you. Indy 5, everything wrong with Hollywood today. Barbie is everything wrong with present-day America. Deleted scenes? Cheers, mate. You're absolutely right on that. It's a shame that a masterpiece like Oppenheimer is handcuffed to this. Yeah, no. And I'm still questioning a couple little points about the historic accuracy about that film, but I do want to see Oppenheimer. Here and Joker voice, you're good people, man. Look, if you follow me on social media, you know that I do my best to share out streams for the YouTubers I like. I share every stream Joker voice does. He is doing an incredible service to the fandom by watching all this shit so we don't have to. Just saying. Here's the problem that no one is talking about. Women as a movie-going demographic do not make return cinematic visits. That's an interesting thought, Joker voice, and I'll be looking to the box office for the coming weeks to see how that turns out. Leia Plus Size, who is a beautiful female woman, and I want to call that out because I guess that matters these days when you have opinions about such matters.
Opinions.
Yes. It's disappointing that Barbie is a smash hit. It shows goers today just don't consume smart. They want to be entertained so bad. I'm glad you brought that point up, Leia Plus Size. It's in my notes. I will get to that. Wokeness can sell as long as it's packaged properly. Put in a pink box with a pretty pink bow and sprinkled with glitter. You can shit on men all you want. Absolutely. That is, and this is, and Leia Plus Size, I'm going to get a little off topic, but I'm going to ask you to chime in on this particular point. I see the same thing happening with Barbie that I see in relationship to racial issues. Okay? The fourth wave feminists are going on and on about the patriarchy. What men have done to women in the past and blah, 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 blah. And I see a corollary to racial issues today, where it's not enough to be considered equal. Now we need to get our revenge. The Black Lives Matter thing, those white guys need to pay for what they did in the past, even though this generation didn't do those things. It was their fathers and grandfathers.
Well, they're going to be paying in California.
That's a topic for another night.
Okay, all right.
But we are going to hold accountable this generation for what their forefathers did. The pendulum is swinging the other way. People that were never slaves deserve reparations from people that never owned slaves. By the same token, feminists deserve reparations from men who never said boo about the fact that you were women or that you deserve less pay or that you were less than men. Because we grew up in the 70s and we grew up under second wave feminism and we were like, yeah, that makes sense. Women deserve the same pay. They deserve to be treated equal. And, I have people in my life, my mother, my wife, men that have sisters, daughters. I love these women. I want them treated well, and I'm not going to treat women differently, because, I don't want anyone to treat my wife that way. I don't want anyone to treat my mom that way, right?
You really think your mom or I wouldn't say something if somebody treated us like that?
Well, true. And then I would beat the fucking shit out of them. It's just the way it is. And so I live my life treating all women the way I would want my wife treated, the way I would want my mother treated. If I had a daughter, how I would want her treated. That doesn't make me an ally. It makes me a decent fucking human being. That's what it makes me. Just saying. The History Channel did a great story about aliens. Sorry, wait a minute. Let me actually read the comment. History Channel did a great story on Ruth Handler, the creator of Barbie. She was a businesswoman in the 1950s, along with her husband, made Mattel a powerhouse. Yes! Absolutely. A Christian woman, as I recall, which, is not fashionable these days. Doesn't count if Netter swears, but I can do a special shot for that. Let's do a different stream for Netter, okay? If you start adding Netter's swears onto my swears, I swear you'll be dead by the end of this stream.
I swore once.
JPR, but you swore a couple times in that one swear. Hey, folks, I just poured a beer for 9.5 hours. I'm finally off and ready to have one with you all. Nice. Age of Boomer, speaking of 9.5, I'm thinking we need to do a rewatch of 9.5 Weeks sometime soon.
Oh, it's been a while since I've seen that. That was a controversial movie when it came out.
Was that a Solomon King film?
It might have been.
It's a patriarchy, people. I'm talking sexist language here.
That's the one with the beaver shot.
No. That's what was that movie? The interrogation scene where she spreads her legs. What was that movie?
Basic Instinct.
That's Basic Instinct. 9.5 Weeks.
We watched that in Birdsman.
9.5 Weeks was Kim Basinger having some very happy private time looking at slides of artwork.
Okay.
Honestly, that's all I fucking remember about that movie. I think that might be the only scene of the movie I actually watched. I fast forwarded to that, rewound, and then forgot the rest of the movie.
Okay. So who's going to see the Barbie movie? What's the main demographic? Who's been seeing it?
I'm glad you asked that because it gets me back on topic. That's why you are my designated driver. Thank you, Richard Boomer. You know who's going to see it is clueless women who overlook the problems with this film because they like the way the movie looks and the way they depicted the dream house and the Corvette and everything, which I will admit they got that spot on. I wish they would pay that much attention when they do Star Trek or Star Wars or any of the other franchise films that they're doing these days. And fourth wave, college-educated women. What Rush Limbaugh used to call feminazis. That is who is going to see this film. Women that hate men, that use the patriarchy in their daily lexicon, who still believe there is such a thing as a gender pay gap without understanding what it actually is. That's who's going to see this movie. And they're taking their daughters to see it too. Okay, so the opening scene of this film, and I would point everyone to Doomcock. Check out his videos about this, because he pretty much covered it.
Is this a spoiler? In which case you should say spoilers.
I don't know if it's a spoiler when it's the opening scene of the movie.
Might be.
Dom Helen Mirren, Midnight's Edge's own Helen Mirren, was the narrator for the opening scene of this film, and she's talking about how in the days before Barbie, the only dolls girls had to play with were baby dolls, because they were being groomed to become mothers, which apparently is a cardinal sin for the fourth wave feminists. And their whole existence was to take care of a child. Faith and Begora, oh my gosh, no. And then Barbie comes on the scene. Margot Robbie dressed as the original Barbie with the hairstyle and the bathing suit and so forth.
Right.
And this suddenly liberated the little girls, and they turned to Barbie and they turned away from their baby dolls. But what's actually on screen is these women, these little girls, taking their baby dolls and smashing their heads and crushing them. And the scene is clearly a pastiche of the Neanderthals in 2001: A Space Odyssey, and Barbie being the obelisk,
Right.
And the crushing the bones is them killing their baby dolls. If that isn't an allegory for abortion, I don't know what is. And I haven't heard anyone else talk about this. Doomcock kind of alluded to it. I'm just drunk enough to fucking say the word abortion. But, yeah, the idea of being a mother, that's fucking anathema to a fourth wave feminist. Doing anything with a man, that's anathema.
Right.
I know women have needs, but there's other women for that. If not, take matters into your own hands, women, because women are doing it for themselves, standing on their own 2 feet and ringing their own bells. That's basically what this whole movie is about, and it depicts. Here's a thought, people. If the patriarchy is bad, I would posit that the matriarchy is just as bad. Apparently, it's okay if women do it, but it's not okay when men do it. So that is the idea. And a lot of the clueless people seeing this movie are going, oh, I see what they're doing. They're reversing the roles, and they're showing how bad the patriarchy is by showing it in terms of a matriarchy. Because that's what Barbie world is. It's a matriarchy. And the men are, like women. They have no rights. They don't get to vote. They don't whatever. Forgetting the fact that women fucking have the right to vote. They have for over 100 years, you dumb shits. But they all want to fight the same fights over and over and over again. But Barbie world is a world run by the women. It's a matriarchy, and the men are actually worse off than women have been throughout history. They have become not only beta males, but complete simps. Their whole life is just for the purpose of maybe getting Barbie to notice them today. You know?
Okay. So...
Now, I understand that from a feminist point of view, the idea that's what a woman would do, your whole purpose is to be noticed by a man. Look, I get that. That's not cool. You need to self-actualize, girl. You need to live for yourself first, you know, and decide what you want and go after it. That's fine. And if that is to be a wife and mother, that's fine. If it's to be a career woman, that's fine too. If it's to be an astronaut, if it's to be an athlete, that's fine. You do you, girl. That is fine. But this movie says no. No. Everything Barbie represented is not fine. Your job is to dominate men. Your job is to exceed. And never be a mother. That's bad. That's submitting to a man. That is destroying your body. Kill your child if you can. That's the message of this movie.
According to, let's see, Joker voice, in Barbie's world, the Kens are homeless simps with no autonomy as a person and absolutely no rights.
Which is funny because I don't think women ever existed in that place. Yes, you could argue they didn't have autonomy, okay? That they didn't have the same rights as men. Okay? Homeless? No. You lived with your father until you got married. Yes, that is not equal to men. And there were problems. Yes, I'm not saying women had it good throughout history, but it wasn't what was depicted in this film. Real quick, I want to say hi to KBA. I don't recognize this name and face. I know the face. I do like the I do. Yeah, you're right. I know the face. I haven't seen it in my stream before.
Robert E. Howard.
I like that. Yeah. Barbie Land's matriarchy leaves all the Kens shirtless, needy for attention and unsatisfied. Yeah, see, it's funny because as a role reversal, I don't remember women having to walk around topless. I think I'd remember that. I'm all for that. Women should be allowed to be equal to men. And that means being allowed to be... Glad you're not on camera, Netter. Thank you very much for that. No. And there, interestingly enough, you dig into the local laws, you'll find that in some places it is perfectly legal for women to walk around topless, as long as it's legal for men to walk around topless. Actually, I was going to say more of that, but the reality is I don't want to see men topless, so if men shouldn't be topless, women shouldn't be topless either. People should not be walking around topless in public, let's just face it, okay? I don't want to go into a restaurant and see any topless people. I don't care, men or women. Just saying.
So who is the distributor of this movie?
Isn't this a Warner Brothers film?
Warner Brothers. So what lessons do you think Warner Brothers is going to take?
None. Because they've learned the wrong lesson. They've learned, we made money this year. Fuck y'all. What? No, it's not Hasbro. It's Mattel. Mattel quadrupled their licensing fees. Maybe really? Not on, I don't know about the toys, but on T-shirts and Barbie lunchboxes and shit. Yeah, absolutely. This has been a good year for them. And so we're already seeing that Mattel is planning a whole interconnected toy cinematic universe because of the success of Barbie. So you could better believe that He-Man and every other fucking thing they're going to put out is going to be at least as woke as this.
Do you know that there is a Viewmaster movie that they've been trying to get off the ground? You know what the Viewmaster is? The thing you put up.
I do. I had one.
Do kids play with those today?
I don't think so.
Who's nostalgic for the Viewmaster? I don't know. They're doing a Hot Wheels movie.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see how they do that, unless they're doing something similar to Fast and Furious.
Or maybe the Cars movies Disney puts out. I don't know. You know.
Oh, okay. When I have now I see it. Yeah, I've seen your comments in retro blasting. I don't always make the connections. Thanks so much for being here, buddy. This isn't the usual content of my streams. If you're enjoying it, by all means, give me a like and a sub. But check out some of my other streams. I'm usually a little less sociopolitical in my streams. But I hope I can earn your subscription. Thanks, buddy. And I'm sorry if you've already left, Joker Voice, but I'm going to head out. Everyone have a great night and a great weekend. You're awesome, man. By all means, subscribe to Joker Voice. He and if you follow me on social media, you'll definitely see his streams when they come up. Like I said, he watches a lot of this crap, so we don't have to. Hot Wheel movies in the style of Fast and the Furious. I kind of want that. Of course, they'll bitch about racing being toxic. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they get into how horrible it is for the environment and some shit like that.
Hybrids versus regular cars, right? It'll be. I don't know.
Well, KBA, I am not the target audience for Barbie, but I am aware enough of the marketing for Barbie over the past 5 years that it's gone very woke.
Right.
And so the current Barbie is very much in line with what this movie is all about. Ken is an accessory. He is not a real person himself. Again, Midge is the outlier. We did an experiment. Nobody wants pregnant Barbie. Barbie will not have children. She will have a career. Fuck all that shit. All in on the fourth wave feminism. That's really what it's all about. And Mattel is on board for that. Look, Mattel. Look at the He-Man history over the past 5 years. How have we done with He-Man? He-Man's gone super fucking woke. And again, this gets back to my point. Barbie going woke makes money. He-Man going woke? There's a reason. Know your fucking demographic. Okay? A bunch of college girls that went to gender studies, they're all over the Barbie movie. Okay? There's not a man in the world who grew up with He-Man that's enjoyed anything that's come out from He-Man recently. Know your fucking audience if you want to make money. It's not go woke, go broke. It's don't cater to your audience, go broke, is what it really is. It really does come down to those simple economics 101 points. Boomer.
Yes.
Do you have any thoughts on this? Am I missing anything that you're kind of eager to?
Well, here's the thing. There'll probably be an inevitable sequel, correct?
With this much money that it's made, it can't help but, yeah.
Okay, so this has not been a win for the culture war. This could keep going on now.
And that is probably the point of my stream, folks. We are, just like Doomcock always says, right? We're fighting this culture war here. You need to understand these things. I am aware of these things. You probably are, but I'm kind of helping you zero in, focus like a laser beam on these things so that you could then talk to your friends, your family, and so forth about them. Get the word out. How toxic this stuff is. If you got a bunch of fourth wave fucking feminists talking about toxic masculinity, this is toxic femininity. It's not even femininity. It's neo-Marxism is what it is. It's destroy society because I've had too much time to think and not enough time to live. I've spent too much time living off of mom and dad, going to college, and not earning a fucking living. That's the problem here. Just saying.
So, where do we go from here?
Okay.
Who's the target audience, though? Are young men seeing this movie? That's a question I have.
So, this is very interesting. So, I think a lot of people here know another channel that I follow a lot, Viva Barnes, or Viva Fry on YouTube. VivaBarnesLaw.locals.com. It's one of those law tube channels that talks about culture and law and, what's heading up to the Supreme Court and stuff like that. Talking a lot about this. And Robert Barnes had a lot to say about this. And the thing he pointed out is that the target audience is millennials and Zoomers, mostly female, who are college educated, who have been indoctrinated by those colleges into this fourth wave feminist religion, because that's essentially what it is. It's not rational, it's religion. And they're dragging their fucking simp boyfriends to see this shit. There was a guy that wrote into Robert Barnes and said, my girlfriend wants me to see this movie, and I told her about all the ideological intersectional bullshit in it, and she doesn't care. She wants to see it. Should I go see it? And he said, no. Stick to your guns. Be a man. If she wants to drag you to it, then tell her to fuck off. And, well, he didn't say fuck off. I said that. He said, find yourself a decent girlfriend. Look. This is where I start to make the pivot, folks. 2 weeks ago, I wanted to go see Sound of Freedom. I asked the only woman I would ever ask on a date to go see it with me. And after 30 years of marriage, she turned me down because she didn't think it would be an enjoyable film. The following week, I said, I'm going to see this movie, whether you go see it with me or not. And despite not feeling well and having a headache and not wanting to get out of bed, she got up and went with me. Mm-hmm. Because, I don't know, I guess because she loves me. It's the only thing I can figure.
That's that whole thing.
And, Netta, what did you think of The Sound of Freedom after seeing it?
It wasn't exactly as I expected. I expected to be showing a lot more violence.
Yeah.
And now keep in mind, I saw the film after seeing the documentary or whatever it was of the actual Tim guy.
Tim, what's his name? I'm forgetting his name.
Caviezel talking about the film and the background and what was involved.
She knew that it was an emotionally heavy film, so she was resistant to seeing it. After seeing it,
I thought
and
it was a really great movie.
Correct me if I'm putting words in your mouth and misspeaking for you, but I got the impression that you agreed with me that it was an important movie. That it needs to be seen, that it's got a message that needs to get out.
Make sure you put up the angel.com link for anyone who wants to go.
I will be doing that next week. I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but I'm going to be doing a stream about...
It was a very... What's the word I want to use? It's a very important film, and I can't underscore that, or I can't emphasize that enough.
That's okay. Save it.
You asked, I'm answering.
Okay, fair enough. This is the equality that we talk about, guys.
Well,
okay, I got to give her a
shout because your mic's all the way across.
Yeah. Well, I needed to make sure I got the song through, yeah.
Anyway. The subject of human trafficking, people don't really think about things like that because they don't want to think about things like that. And the fact that these are children, we don't want our kids to ever go through this stuff.
We will definitely be getting into this next week because that's what the stream is about. Yeah. But my important...
go see it.
Yeah, my important point was this is the anti-Barbie. It really, really is. Whereas Barbie is all about kill your babies or don't have babies and live your life for yourself and do whatever the hell you want. And women are better than men. Sound of Freedom is about children are our future. They are precious. And I swear to you, you will be judged by how you treat them.
Yes.
Apparently, the Barbie movie ends with her in the real world going to see her gynecologist about her fancy new vagina. I'm not going to go into too much detail about how I know this, but I joked in my song, in my opening song, about how Barbie and Ken are pretty much gender neuter. But 6-inch action figures have come a long way, baby, and there are people selling accoutrement for your G.I. Joe and Barbie.
What?
Silicone attachments to make them as anatomically correct as possible. Let me warn you, if you go to eBay Etsy, and look for these things, they will be showing up in your Etsy stream for a very long time. Don't do it. Sir Torrance says, I have no issue with this film, but Hot Wheels has had the advantage of not having the lore like Speed Racer. You can more or less tell any story you want with Hot Wheels. Yes, and I guarantee you it's going to be some sort of a feminist, socio-political type message, given what we have seen so far. Is it fair to call these people college educated based on who these youngsters are? You make an excellent point, David. I would say that the better term would be college indoctrinated. That's what they actually are. I call them educated fools. Yes. I believe that education is important, but there is such a thing as over-educated. We talk about first world problems only when you are rich enough in the first world, when you don't have to worry about where what is going to protect your head, what's going to keep you warm at night, where you're going to get your next meal. When those are no longer concerns, you can start philosophizing about gender and all this other kind of bullshit. That means absolutely zero to the average third world person. You know, you try going to, I don't know, rural Zimbabwe and talk to them about a heteronormative, whatever the fuck these people talk about. And see how they respond to you. That's what I have to say. There used to be this thing about philosophy, you know, cogito ergo sum, you know, I think therefore I am, right? You know, yes. How do I know that I exist? Can you feel your underwear? You fucking exist, okay? You know, you're thinking too damn much. When your philosophy doesn't match up with fucking reality, you've got a fucking problem. You really do. This is absolutely true, Tim Hayes. Truer words were never said. She loves you, yeah, she does. She's crazy that way, and I love that kind of crazy. I still can't believe Disney was willing to just let that film sit on the shelf forever. Yeah, we'll talk about that next week. Absolutely, KBA. Hope you join us next week. I think it's going to be a really, really good stream. If you are not seeing a comment, make sure that you are on live chat and not top chat. Click on where it says top chat, switch to live chat so you can see everything that all your friends in the chat are saying. It's absolutely worth it. But yeah, that's so. What I want to do then is, having said all this about this film, I want to give the white pill for the night. I don't want to end on this down note. Okay, my white pill is the ability for Sound of Freedom to reach its audience, despite Hollywood trying to bury it. That should be your white pill. Okay, first point. Second point. Barbie is a warning to where the world is going. Sound of Freedom is the promise of where the world can go. And we'll talk about that more next week. I hope you join us. I've got a few feelers out to get some guests in here for that. Some guests that have been speaking out about the Sound of Freedom, how important it is. Folks, this is a real culture war. Okay? You people, you hear woke, and woke. You people are truly awake. You are here listening to what I have to say. You people are a cut above the average. You are not clueless when you go see Barbie. You look and you see this for what it is, okay? And you see what is happening to the world around you, okay? If you listen to your friends around you who say, well, I'm not political. I don't want to get political. I hate politics. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, there are generations of people that weren't political, and they found themselves in camps with no food, not being allowed to procreate. Okay? That's what happens when you're not political. Pay attention to what's going on around you, or you will suffer the consequences. History has told us this. Those who will not learn from history are destined to repeat it. We are repeating history because we have at least 2 generations that have refused to learn their history. And I'm not talking about the people in this chat, because you have learned your history and are here learning it right now. You're listening to the people that know their history. Final tally for shots, 28. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you, girl. Oh, that seems awfully low. You may have been very gracious. I think there may have been some extras, some multiples that I said in one breath that you might have overlooked. Surreality just joined us. Where there is suffering, there is money to be made. You're not wrong there, Surreality. That is actually a very good point. Hope you get caught up on the rest of the stream. Covers a lot of what you just said. But before I start looking to the future, Boomer, is there anything else that you want to say about the present topic? Because I have kind of dominated this topic and not giving you a lot of... As usual, I haven't given you a lot of chance to speak.
What do I want to say about this topic? Just that, from what I heard, the movie does come off as rather misandrous. That's what I was hearing. But, again, I haven't seen it myself. I don't really plan to watch it. I've watched some pretty in-depth reviews about it. It did sound like a bit of a mess. It did well. Warner Brothers will learn the wrong lesson from this. I hope that they don't have this stuff leak into other properties they're working on, such as Superman movies coming out and other things. And I don't know what to say.
Here's hoping, because honestly, this is the same thing I'm talking about. It works with Barbie. It won't work with Superman and those kinds of things. It just won't. And yeah. But excellent point.
And where's Mattel on all this, though? I guess they were in favor of all this, and will this help sell dolls?
They signed off on it. They got cold feet there for a little while, but when they saw the first week's box office and the first couple days of the second week, they're fine with it.
I have a question, though. Do you think that now this property is being co-opted by people who were never really fans of it to begin with, but now they're co-opting it because of the message now? Or is this just people that love the original property? And
I would have more respect if a company did this for the money. Because Barbie's making money, let's face it. And if you are a business and you're trying to make money, well, then you're doing your job. But no, I think this is about messaging, and this is about just like Passion of the Christ did very well, because there was a lot of Christians starving for a good Christian message, right?
Right.
Just like I think The Sound of Freedom is doing very well, because there is a bunch of people that care about children, let's be honest, that still think that pedos deserve to have a millstone tied around their necks and thrown into the ocean.
You got that reference in the
glass
movie.
rod shoved up their weenie and then
broken off. Yeah. I've heard that too.
You got that in the movie when he said that. I know what that's from too.
I heard that. I was like, yes. There are a couple, and we'll talk about this next week, but there's a couple points where Tim Ballard, the character, but he's a real person, Tim Ballard acts as though he is a pedophile in order to
lure a pedophile into giving him information.
Yeah, exactly. Get the information that he needs, and then he, uses all that information again. It's what cops do. It's what cops do to, bring in the bad guy, right? And Tim Ballard, at first, it's a misdirect in storytelling. You're thinking, oh, God, this guy's a sicko. And then you realize there's this great scene. I think a lot of people, this isn't a spoiler because I think so many people have already talked about this. There's this great scene where in his role as an enforcer, he has to look at the material on people's laptops and so forth.
And then write up what it's about.
And then write up a description for other people in the law enforcement, and the legal system.
Huh.
And you don't see what's on. You see some early scenes, but nothing gratuitous. And then it does a close up on his eye, and the eye gets larger and larger, and the tear drops.
Yep. And
it tells you everything you need to know. And it's very clear. This is not someone who enjoys his job. And it's an important point of the story because he ends up going rogue and doing... He becomes... this is a real world fucking Batman, people. This is a real hero that could not work within the system and had to work outside the system. We'll talk way more about this next week, but this is...
You're going to hear me swear again. Disney sat on this movie for 6 fucking years.
Yeah, KBA brought this up too, and we'll talk about this again.
20th Century Fox would have released it. I think they were behind it. Then, yeah.
Yeah, and then 20th Century Fox was acquired by... Well, and in fairness, it may very well be that they were completely unaware of this movie. They may not have even known this movie existed. Because, everything 20th Century Fox they acquired, they sat on. The X-Men they've sat on. They've sat on everything they got from 20th Century Fox. They've done jack all with what they got from 20th Century Fox. Yeah, so... Yeah, honestly, I feel like... And even though next week, too, will be probably a very heavy subject, it'll be a much more white pill, hopeful, positive thing to look at, I think. So if you are feeling a little bit bummed out about this week, look forward to next week. Next week will be better. Yeah, I think we've said enough about this. Let's get on to what's going on this week. So what do we got tomorrow night? Tomorrow night, Netta and I will be out. We will not, thank you. We will not be with Big Al Presents tomorrow. But Wolf 10 Media and Deleted Scenes will be filling in for us over on Big Al Presents, where they will be watching The War of the Gargantuas, 1966. I will catch it on the rerun, with my own copy, which you should do if you miss a rewatch. It's always fun to hear our commentary. But that is tomorrow night over on Big Al Presents. There's the link to the stream. Netter and I will be hanging out with Evelyn Hampton at a Klingon celebration. That brings us to Sunday. Sunday is the busy night of the weekend because we start out on Deleted Scenes channel with Unscripted. I actually don't know what his topic is. Deleted Scenes, if you're still here, let us know what that is. I don't have a link directly to the stream, but it is at 7 Central, 8 Eastern, and there is the link to his channel. Make sure you're subscribed and hit the notification bell so you know when he goes live. But he will be going live tomorrow at 7 Central, 8 Eastern, I'm sure it'll be really good, whatever it is. That brings us to 8 Central, 9 Eastern over on your channel. Aged Boomer, what are we doing on that?
We're doing the Geeky Geezers.
And what are we going to be talking about?
I guess the theme of the night is biophysical media, because we'll be talking about some scary developments in what you're allowed to own, I guess, digitally speaking. And they're also trying to get rid of physical media. But we got other stuff to talk about. Unfortunately, there's going to be probably another retrospective of music, of a popular music star, which we'll be getting into.
Yep, absolutely.
And I'm trying to think what else. Good stuff. That's what
we may touch on this topic again. We may talk on some of the others. We'll see what comes up in the next 24 hours. But yeah,
yes,
that's. And then after that, go to the bathroom, refill your drink, get yourself a snack, get back to Deleted Scenes for the other side of midnight. That's the other side of the midnight Eastern time. That's 11 Central time. Again, don't know what his topic is, but it's a little bit relaxed, a little bit mellow. It's one of those...
a little bit chill.
A little bit chill, Sunday nights.
As the kids say.
Yeah, exactly. I like it. I love it. I think it's a niche that isn't covered enough in the YouTubeosphere. And Thursday night over on Netter's Network. What goofy guest are you having on Thursday on Netter's Network, Netter?
Next Thursday, over on Netter's Network, Thursday Things. My special guest is that big guy sitting there in front of y'all.
Big derelict. Yeah.
We are celebrating 31 years of marriage.
31 years, she hasn't smothered me in my sleep. Yeah. I'll tell you what, being married to her has been awesome. I wouldn't necessarily dub her a trad wife, but she's the best wife I could have ever asked for. She's everything I ever dreamed of.
Aww.
Really, really. And I would say that if I was stone cold sober. Absolutely. But I think those of you that follow this channel and follow her channel probably already know that. She's my enabler. She puts up with a lot. I think she's almost deserving of sainthood for putting up with me. But yeah, we'll be talking about us next week, Thursday on Netter's Network. Congrats on the anniversary. Thank you, KBA. Thank you so much. Yeah, 31 years. I think that gives us some bragging points these days. In this day and age where a bunch of fourth wave feminists don't need no men, we still subscribe to we are social animals. We are incomplete in this world. We need someone else in our life. We need a society, right? But we particularly need that one special soulmate. And that's why people are so fucking miserable. These fourth wave neo-Marxist assholes are so miserable because they resist the very natural course. Okay? You almost have to feel sorry for them, but they're such assholes that want to destroy everything, you don't feel sorry for them. Okay, that's it. I'm done. I'm done. That's it. I'm done. Yes, this is why I don't listen to Grace Randolph. Exactly. Anyway, that's all I got. Age of Boomer, any last thoughts, any last words, anything?
I'm anxious. I guess we've got another month of summer movies left, and I'm anxious for this summer to come to an end.
What are you looking forward to? Anything?
Maybe The Last Voyage of the Demeter will be good. I don't know.
I am looking forward to that. That is a Universal Monsters film.
Universal, yeah. So maybe
kind of I don't want to call it a Dracula prequel because it's not really. It's kind of
during the novel.
It's kind of a sidequel, right?
Well, yeah,
could be good.
In the book, you went into it a little bit by reading the diary. I think of it.
It's basically taking one chapter of Dracula and looking at it from the point of view of the NPC type characters,
which could work. So we'll see.
It could be great. It could be great. I hope it's great. I'm looking forward to that. I agree with you. Yep. Netter, any last words? I say as she's starting to take a drink, which is unfair.
Well, you know how long-winded I get at the end here.
I do.
Okay, let me move over here so people can actually hear me and I don't have to shout.
True.
Y'all know what I always say at the end of every stream.
Yes.
We can talk amongst ourselves, and that's all well good and fun. But it is so much more fun when you guys are joining us in the chat. And you're dropping comments, questions, trivia, being goofy, whatever it may be. Even buying Troy a drink.
Yes.
And it doesn't feel like we're separated by miles or continents in some cases. It feels like we're hanging out in the same room, enjoying each other's company and having a great time. And you're not just our friends. You are our family. We love you guys and we appreciate you so very much. You can be anywhere right now and you choose to be here with us. And that is so super encouraging. Like I said, we love you guys and we appreciate you so very much. And we'll definitely see you next time.
Absolutely. I super appreciate every single one of you. Those that have made it this far, all 12 that are watching, and I'm not sure I can even trust those numbers that YouTube shows us. I super appreciate that you've stayed with us this long, put up with my rants and whatnot. I know this isn't everybody's cup of tea, but it's something that I think is important. I think it's important to our culture. I think it's important to our future. If you are family people, if you are married with children, this is important to that next generation, as will next week's stream. So I hope you join us next week for the other side of this coin. Really want to thank you all so much. Make sure you're subscribed to each other. Make sure you're subscribed to everyone that's here in the panel or whatever. All linked below. Together we grow. That's the only way that this community grows. So thank you, everyone. Have a great one, and I really, really do hope to see you. I hope to see you on Sunday on the various streams, but hope to see you next week. Take care, everyone.
Good night, ladies.
Good night, sir.
Hit it, sweetheart.